small age, how did I become a Wiggins? I've been adopted too. I mean, I wasn't a little orphan Annie or thing like that. I was a one-parent son at the time. I was my mother's son, Nora Lee Lyons' son. At the time, just to tell you, my little life biography here. And, born in Halifax County, North Carolina. I think we went from Halifax County to, Bertie County when I was little. But I think grandparents used to stay maybe in Winston-Salem somewhere. I'm not sure about what they call it. Farmington, North Carolina, something like that. So it's like on the west side a little bit. So, and all I know is that my real dad was somebody Lewis, Earl Lewis or something like that. I don't know if it's a mythical name or what, this guy real, or if you remember X, something like that. But my mother never really told me who my real dad was because I was so young. I let another man apparently, say that he's my father, but he's not. And maybe he's, lied to me about things as being a father, through my life and career for being adoption, and give me the short end of the stick most of the time. I would say, through my experience, I would say I feel sometimes I'm very shorted with things, not really given the full opportunity to, do things, accomplish things. Like the day parents, most parents of the day, they take care of their kids. They take them to, little games and things like that, sponsor their kids and hope that they be successful, through get a scholarship through sports and things like that. But it's not the day. I say I got adopted. Let me take you back where I got adopted. I think in 1972. I moved up to Jersey to be with my mother because about maybe 71, 72. I can't really remember so many things. Your little things like that. You can remember, at 5, you can probably start to see a picture a little bit. When your grandfather walking through the woods and stuff like that, with a bird dog, and you out there shooting birds and squirrels and stuff like that. I think I can remember a time or two like that. That's why, truly miss my grandfather. I hate to see that he deceased when he moved to Durham. See, that's another story that I'm about to get to about Durham, North Carolina. How hard it is, and how you easily be fooled with things like that. But what another thing I was telling you about, okay, I moved out of Jersey. I think my name changed one day. I remember going to the doctor to see if I'm healthy and all this stuff, to see documents, and my mom got married in '69. I can remember that. I think they had a house wedding or something like that. Maybe they had 4 or something like that. I think the first time I spoke, I was about 3 or something like that. Couldn't say the words. People teased me a lot about that, And what really went on is, it's like the first stage of it. We got adopted, and it seemed like you was no longer in the middle of the line. You was at the end, you know what I'm saying? You're like, damn. And I even actually cried when the day these people came over. I can remember the teacher, Dr. King, said, son, you got to write down, your name's Jerome Wiggins. I started crying in tears. I think about the 4th, 3rd, 2nd grade or something like that. I can't really remember, 3rd or 4th grade. I just broke out in tears, man. I never felt the same again. And, I was a little young and I was country, like people used to slur, country people talk slow, things like that. But when I went to Jersey, you know how to read and teach how to read a little bit, things like that. But it's just a way that you can do, you can do so many things in life. But you never know till you see some of these movies that come out and they remind you of some things that people used to do. We in Jersey eat a whole lot of salami, bologna, cold cuts, eating stuff like cheese, a little nab, hors d'oeuvres, things like that before my mom became paralyzed. And she became paralyzed in '75. And then again, that was the stepping stone of everything being shortchanged as my mom being a parent, being able to take me to these places, get these things without being so humbled and shut down in life, to her crippled disease, that she had after an injury from an accident, automobile accident. And so my mom got compensated from that, I believe, and she built a house in Durham from Atlantic City, New Jersey, about 76 and a half, and we moved in February of '77. And so like in the middle of my school year at Jersey, we moved down here to Durham, North Carolina, and I'm like, damn, this is how I came about in Durham from my adoption way back then. So, it's like I never knew Durham. probably anywhere, because my parents tell me you can't go nowhere, don't go nowhere. Well, like God, some days I wish I hadn't went anywhere, but after I became adult, you go somewhere, you get in trouble. And I wish I hadn't never went anywhere. Went far away from home after graduation and got misled, into doing things personally, wrongfully. And they try to say that it's, I've committed a crime. So this is what life is. I can't live another life in another name sometimes because of the way that security, everything's set up. It's hard to survive, man. I should have moved on then, but it's one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda things all the time. That's why I learned, from a few people, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But, as you being a kid and you think this guy really loves you, and you come to find out that years later that they really don't love you, they just wanted you for a token at that time, to help them as an asset with maybe tax proposals and things like that every year, things like that. Because, my mom took care of me, but we, me and my sister, Tanisha, but we was always, we gotta check ourselves. But I can't remember as a young kid before my mom changed my name down. I believe I was getting a check personally from maybe my father, my real father, before I got adopted by Solomon Wiggins, and maybe that was the money that she needed, to help me clothe me, because after that I never felt that I was clothed the same way, the same clothes, like I was when I can remember. I was little, she would take me shopping, we worked out, I remember working at Bradley's, things like that a little bit, as a kid. But people, see that's my documentary might not, Dad, I didn't know he still remember that. And see, it's like, I used to do some crazy things, so I was like, when we, found it, music, listen to comedy, I used to sneak in when Mom and Dad weren't there at the house and listen to Richard Pryor and things like that. And that's why I learned about what nigger was, what how you talk about pussy, white women, white people, slavery, how the white people, the clans and all that. He taught me a little history right there, just doing all the comedian stuff, and it really, enlightened me, on how life really is at times, that we still do be discriminated against. There is racists out there, some people are prejudiced, people gonna be people. That's what he really was talking about. But what I'm going through, I've been through some crazy stuff, did some crazy movies. Realistically, just being locked up is like a damn movie. You done it. You ain't bragging about it. No, I'm not bragging about it. Just wish I had it never happened. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this is what I'll get to, man. I'm not a troublemaker, not like that. But when people get on you and approach you and say you a nigger, and think like you don't know what nigger mean at a young age hardly, and people push you. Now, when people push on you like that, what else can you do? You have to defend yourself somehow. Run for your life these days. Just keep from swinging, getting shot up or something. Because you fight back and you end up fighting and hurting them more than they hurting you. Then you get the blame, for the assault charge and things like that. Just defending yourself, man. And if you say no to something, people don't respect your integrity. They think you crazy, man. I say leave the hell alone or something like that. You must do it, and then if you don't, you either get locked up, you get put out, you get kicked out. You're not doing what I want you to do, and that's the same thing that going on with employment. You get employed. Some days it really feel like you actually carrying the whole load. It ain't funny, but you being paid but a little bit. At the time for a whole load. And that's how it is, man. You get mad about it and do some crazy shit again. Just, react because you felt that this is wrong. And then you go try to seek a lawyer. They like, no, you can't have that. You have no grounds and things like that. So what can a black man do,